In this video, I want to quickly cover what the roll voter prefix does and how you would use it, why you would want to use it, and why you might not want to use it. So I have my security XML file opened up here, and I'm going to go to my roll voter and show you that I do not have a roll prefix. Again, this video is about the roll prefix for a roll voter. By default, if you do not clear this property out, it will default to a value of capitalized roll underscore. Now, when you do this, if you don't specify it or if you specify a value, what has to happen is down here in your metadata source that is going to be used by that roll voter, every one of these privileges that, or the authority in the case of like an XML user data file, these will have to have the roll prefix put on the front of it, like that. What doesn't have to happen is in your user file, you do not have to have the roll prefix as part of their authority. So when the roll voter goes through and it looks at these request URLs, and then it makes a determination whether it should vote or not, it looks for the prefix to match. And if it matches, then it removes the prefix and then it votes on the user's authority, which is right there, in this case, query.birth. So the con of doing this is that it's kind of confusing when you have an adopter who's trying to match up why their request needs an authority or a privilege that says roll underscore, yet their authorities actually don't have a roll underscore in front of them. The advantage and the reason you'd want to use the roll prefix is because it helps make the roll voter explicitly look for certain roles, and you can actually have multiple roll voters access the same metadata source, which is a good thing and it could be a bad thing as well. It just depends on how you want to do your security configurations. So it's kind of like a namespace, if you will, in the XML world. It's a prefix that just helps identify, hey, I need to check this value as a role. Now the downside is if you specify a role prefix and you use the roll voter and you have entries in here that are not recognized as a role, and they are not recognized as one of the standard values like this is authenticated fully, the application actually won't start up. It'll go through it. It does a validation of these values when it's first starting up, and it actually will crash and give you an error message, and you'll have to go fix that. So for IBIS, I think it's a little bit cleaner to not use the roll prefix and to have separate metadata sources to use depending on the actual request and the security that you need. I think it's a little more straightforward, and it seems to work just fine. So I always clear that value off, but there's no guarantee that in the future that I will not add that back in, especially as our security needs become more complex. I hope this video is helpful, and if you have any questions about the roll prefix and how it is used or how it is not used, please feel free to give me a call. Thanks for watching.